This is an Unsolicited Perspectives YouTube exclusive.
All right, Jay. I'm excited. You know I'm excited.
Yes, I know.
I got the tattoo on my arm. Done been had it.
Yes.
I'm literally wearing a Superman shirt up under this sweatshirt right now.
Yeah, I'm
Superman.
positive that you are. Yeah.
The trailer released. I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but the trailer released. I wanted to get your perspective because you have very strong opinions about Superman.
I do.
Counter to what I say. But directed by James Gunn, coming out July the 11th.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of days after my birthday. Main cast is David Cornsett as Superman, Clark Kent, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, Miss Marvel. That's what she did, the Marvelous Miss Marvel, something like that.
Yeah. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
I knew it was something like that.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, Lex Luthor, not Lex Luger. Lex Luger was a professional wrestler.
Yes.
Lex Luthor, and then various other people. The plot is basically this. The movie follows Superman as he reconciles his heritage with his human upbringing as the embodiment of truth and justice. Superman navigates a world that views these values as old-fashioned. The film explores his dual life as Clark Kent, a reporter on the Daily Planet, and the struggles to balance his responsibilities as a superhero. Now, you just watched the trailer.
Yes.
What you think?
It actually looked good. And now, you know that my main issue with Superman is the extensive property damage.
You name me one superhero that don't have extensive property damage as he's trying to save lives.
Spider-Man.
No. Spider-Man destroyed a whole train trying to stop a train.
No.
Yes, he did.
What you talking about?
And Spider-Man, when he was shooting, and with Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, when he was trying to stop a runaway train,
Yeah.
he was shooting his webs against all the buildings.
Yeah.
And it crunched the train. It crunched the front of the train. There was some destruction.
He saved the people. No.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's not what Superman's doing.
Yeah, he is.
No,
Yeah.
he's fighting and busting into buildings. He's like the Incredible Hulk. What he did to Harlem. He's busting up buildings. Like, I don't like any of these superheroes that cause all this property damage, and we don't know about what are the casualties for the people that are in these buildings.
Well, they did address that in the movie Batman v Superman. But look, we're just going to talk about this trailer.
Yeah, this trailer actually looked good. I thought the addition of crypto, I think that's cool.
Yes. It's a comic book movie. But then again, when you think about James Gunn and when he does these superhero movies, they're very comic booky.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to base it in realism. Like, comic books are not based in realism. Even Batman has mystical stuff that goes on around it.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, we got Crypto the Superdog.
And I think the casting of David, was it Corn Sweet?
Corn Sweat.
Yeah,
that dude.
David.
Yeah.
So my main issue has always been, how y'all not know that this 6'6" reporter who is buff as hell but somehow nerdy, but he works out, is not Superman, who always disappears when Superman comes around. How y'all not know that this big muff, how y'all not know he's Superman?
Right. I mean,
okay. But I seeing him, even though he's tall and in shape and everything, seeing his Clark Kent, like him on the farm and him when he's working now it's not the Daily Bugle, it's the Daily Planet.
Daily Planet.
Daily
Bugle. That's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I buy him as a country boy nerd kind of, like I bought him as that. I love of course the blue eyes, dark hair. You gotta have it. I like he got the little curl. There's a little curl up there. Okay.
So when people always complain, and you said like he's just gonna put glasses on, you're not gonna recognize the Superman.
Right.
They do a couple of things with this Clark, and just this little treat, and this little trailer where he looks completely different. Like they look like two completely different people.
Yes.
The hairstyle is completely different.
Yeah.
Right. It's like this bushy kind of, like he's got a lot of hair and he don't dry blow it or anything like that. Comb it. He just get up and go.
Yeah.
He's also tall and he's muscular, but his clothes, I don't know if you noticed it, they were super baggy. Like they were ill-fitting. Like somebody who was just like, I just putting on clothes because I got to put on clothes.
The city, and not quite being obviously
Well,
you recognize that you're not from here, are you? Like that kind of vibe. So
he's bumbling like the old Christopher Reeve
Mhm.
Superman, but it's a different. It's not goofy bumbling.
yeah.
I actually know a person. I'm not gonna put them on blast like this. I'm not. But I know a person that reminds me of this Clark Kent
Okay.
that's being portrayed in this movie. And I'm like, oh, this is a real person. I know this person. Whereas the Clark Kent and like the old Christopher Reeve movies, it's like, I don't really truly know anybody like that.
I mean,
And
and Christopher Reeves was so big that it just did not make sense. Like it
big and
just,
beautiful. He was big and beautiful.
yes, gorgeous, man. You kidding me? R.I.P. But like, I just never believed he was gigantic. Like it was like, come on. I get it, you're supposed to be like a farm boy and that's why you're in shape and all that stuff, but he was gigantic. I wasn't buying him as a bumbling, introvert. Like I just wasn't buying it. But I understood that was the secret identity that he assumed. And like that was how he viewed humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another really great thing I liked about the trailer is it showed it. He said 2 words or 3 words. He said a brief sentence. Crypto, take me home.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what this movie is about. Like, I know it's about Superman.
Listen, the trailer was all over the place. I saw robots, aliens. I saw a big monster. I saw a black dude in a mask with
Mr. Terrific.
Okay.
That's Mr. Terrific. He's a superhero.
Okay, I saw a Falcon Girl or a
Hawk Girl.
Hawk Girl. Okay, I
literally
saw
that's her name.
Okay, they not very imaginative. That's cool.
It's a DC comic character. They just I mean, technically, no, they weren't imaginative.
No,
Superman
he's
is
a Superman.
Batman
She's a
is
Hawk Girl. He's
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Come on with these great names.
They're not, they're not stretching much when they're coming up with these names.
No.
But yeah, could not exactly catch the plot. Don't know. It looked like they threw everything in the kitchen sink in there. I'm wondering how they're going to make it all seem organic.
Yeah. So James Gunn is given. Okay, so the backstory is James Gunn and Peter Safran are the CEOs of DC, the DC version of Warner Brothers.
Okay.
They've restarted DC.
Okay.
The first thing that they did was they did some Christopher Reeve movie recently that's on Max. They come out with this cartoon, Creature Commandos, dope cartoon.
Okay.
Think Invincible with a little bit more heart.
Okay.
Actually a lot more heart.
And now where is that show? Where's that on Max also?
HBO Max, right? And then now that Superman is the first release, this movie has to hit. So he's been doing a lot of publicity because there's a bad taste in people's mouths from the last few DC products.
Yeah, they weren't great. Like I'll be honest with you guys, like they just weren't good. Like I absolutely can't stand Ben Affleck as Batman.
I actually thought Ben Affleck Batman was dope. I didn't like
the only worst Batman was George Clooney.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I thought it was a good Batman.
That was the only worst one.
They made some bad movies, right?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was great. Wonder Woman 2 was not that great.
No.
Aquaman was great. Aquaman 2 was a good movie if you watch it.
I enjoyed both the Aquamans. Were they, stellar films? No. But I had fun watching them.
Right. But see,
I have fun watching Jason Momoa be funny and, a hero.
And he's going to have some role in this new DC. He's not going to be Aquaman anymore. But like, all the Marvel movies don't hit either.
No. You cannot convince me that, what was it, Thor?
The first 2 Thors.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were terrible, especially the second one with the dark. First of all, my position on superhero movies, I have to like or somehow identify with the villain. If I don't care about the villain, I'm not going to care about the story at all. The villain has to be charismatic to me. Like it has to be like there has to be something about that villain that's different. That's why I like the Joker, because he's a villain you can't negotiate with. He
Okay.
just wants chaos.
Okay. All right.
And this like weird, like symbiotic relationship that he has with Batman,
Okay.
where they almost kind of like need each other a little bit. That's why I like Thanos, because you like, yeah, I get it.
Thanos, well, the first Thanos in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Thanos in Endgame, I was like, oh, this is a bad guy. But in
Yeah.
Infinity War, I was like, well, you know what? He kind of got a point. I mean,
It's not a great way to go about this.
right, but he kind of got a point.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about this Superman, like James Gunn, like I said, has done so many interviews, and Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, I keep calling him the wrestler. Lex Luthor has a lot of depth. And so Nicholas
Yes.
Holt went out for the role for Superman, but as he was reading the script, he was like, I kind of think I'd be a great Lex Luthor, because there's a lot of depth
Yeah.
in Lex Luthor's character.
You can actually really mine a lot of like emotional depth from that character. And from the little clip I saw, there's like a clip of him and he's got a tear that comes down or something like that. Like I'm curious to see how all of this will come together. It seemed like a lot in the trailer, and that's the only thing that I'm nervous about. Is there were a lot of different little monsters and aliens and robots and villains and heroes and all kind of stuff thrown in there. So it's like
one of my good friends texted me as soon as the trailer dropped, said, what do you think? And I'm going to be real honest. When I first watched the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be a lot. This is too much. I've since watched the trailer about 50, 60 times. No joke.
I did not think you were joking.
And I've become more and more upbeat about it, because James Gunn has a history of taking a lot of stuff that's in every single one of the Guardians.
Yeah.
His Suicide Squad, which was a good movie. It's a lot. No. Not the first Suicide, the second Suicide with John Cena. And then they did that peel off where he was Peacemaker in the movie and then Peacemaker TV show. Like, he's responsible for both of those.
Yeah, I have his character for the Mortal Kombat 1. I do have the Peacemaker. I did purchase that character.
Jesus. So like, that's kind of the reason why he got the job.
Yeah.
Because he'd done such good work. And it's always a lot of stuff that he just makes work.
Yeah.
And he said, this is what he said. This is a Superman movie. Superman is the main, protagonist.
Yeah.
And he said, Lex Luthor is the main antagonist.
Okay.
And he was like, Lex Luthor is very physically imposing because Nicholas Holt is 6'4".
Yeah.
And so he was like, in this movie, you are going to see Superman. Like, most of the time, it's like in these Superman movies and TV shows is whatever. It's like, oh, he's like a god. You don't have to worry about it. He's never in peril.
Yeah.
He's like, no. You're going to be scared to death about what Lex Luthor has planned for Superman.
That's what I've been looking for. Because the thing about Superman is, especially in the previous movies, he would just come out with something like the cellophane.
Okay, that was
like or he could fly in the opposite direction around the world and turn back time. Like, it would just be dumb stuff where it's like he'll never lose.
Yeah, you're right.
And the thing is, in the comics, he's died.
He did. It took an incredible mutated being to kill him, but yes, he did die.
But like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the reason why I like certain heroes over other heroes, like the reason why I like Iron Man or something, for instance, right, is because that's just a regular dude in that suit, and he's getting his ass beat in that suit. Like, you'll hear the Jarvis or whoever in his ear, multiple rib fractures noted. You know, like, he's like, yeah, I feel that. You know, like, that's just a dude in a suit just trying to help people. Like, but it's a regular, you know, Batman's the same way. I loved Christian Bale's Batman because he'd go to the doctor and, you know, animal cartilage in his knees and stuff. Well, yeah, you can't keep jumping off buildings and gliding into cars and stuff on a motorcycle. You can't keep doing that stuff. You're a regular dude. And so it really feels like there's stakes with those kind of heroes because they can die.
Right.
They can get horribly injured. You know, there's a chance they might not overcome. But you don't always get that feeling with Superman. So I wanted it to be this idea that one being can be the world's savior is ridiculous. You're not going to be able to be in all places at once, and you're never going to be able to satisfy everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the truth.
And I think James Gunn is tackling this.
Yeah, because I saw he's walking through a crowd and somebody throws a can at his head, which does nothing, obviously. He's Superman.
No,
but it hurts him. It hurts his feelings. Let me tell you something. Superman's feelings aren't bulletproof. You can hurt his feelings. Okay? Because he got inside and he just kind of dropped his head. You can hurt his feelings.
But I think James Gunn did a great job with the very first shot. The very first shot is Superman falling to the earth in a fetal position, cratered, bloodied, wheezing, got to have a punctured lung.
Yeah.
Barely
broken
able to
ribs
hold,
or something.
Broken ribs, barely able to hold his eyes open. And you're like, what did that to Superman?
Right.
And it shows, oh, snap. Superman can be in trouble. This very first movie.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it, I hope those people that hate DC and they hate the fact that James Gunn is taking over and this is not Zack Snyder's Superman anymore, give it a shot because I got a feeling this is going to be a good movie.
Yeah, and listen, hey, I know you guys love Zack. Those movies weren't good.
Man of Steel was actually good.
Didn't I? You made me watch them all. I even had to watch that director's cut. That was like 18 hours long that you made me watch.
It was good though.
It took me forever. It was okay.
You know what?
But the Justice League movies, they were terrible.
Well, there's some. I'm not gonna get back into that. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, she's about to aggravate me.
But I'm listen. Like I'm not a Marvel over DC. I like DC villains and I like Marvel heroes. Like that's my thing.
Because Marvel heroes are just basically anti-heroes,
right?
Except for Captain America.
And DC villains I find to be more complex than the Marvel villains. Aside from Thanos, like a lot of the times when the Marvel movies fall flat to me is because the villain is just boring. The villain's just boring. So, like the Dark Elves and it was just boring. It was just boring as hell. And so that's when those movies fall flat to me. And that's where I feel like DC succeeds is because their villains make it so interesting to watch. But yeah, I mean, a good movie is a good movie and a bad movie is a bad one. So let's see. I know you're gonna make me watch it, so I'm gonna end up watching it. Yeah. And we'll come back and let y'all know after July 11th what the report is. I mean, y'all might know too, so we'll see.
Yeah, and July 11th will be here tomorrow because we ain't that far away.
Because it's already Chris.
We already
did this, but yeah.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this was a YouTube exclusive.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.